so data literacy is obviously, a lot of people kind of characterize it as the ability to read, write, and work with and communicate data. And so obviously most of our roles today are being inundated with data. Data is now not just for the data scientists, not just for the analysts, not just for the executives, but all of us now have probably some exposure to data in our roles, and that's introducing new challenges for many people that maybe haven't been used to using data on a regular basis in the past, and are now being required to use data more and more in their roles. And so that's introduced a challenge for many organizations, because they're realizing, okay, we've spent all this money on these really expensive analytics tools and platforms, and they're not seeing people embracing them, not seeing people being able to use them and adopt them like they should to get the full value of these investments. So I think data literacy has been identified as a key gap for many companies. Like for many years, it's all been, a lot of decisions have been based on just gut feel, just based on our experience. And what we're finding is that we can make better decisions with data when we have data as part of that decision-making process. There was a report that was shared by PwC, the accounting firm, probably about just over 5 years ago. And they said that when they found that companies that were making decisions with data had almost 3 times the amount of success with making important decisions. And so that's a key thing. I think just, we have all this data, we're collecting all this data. How can we use it to make better decisions, faster decisions? That's really, it shouldn't be viewed as something that we should be scared of, but something that perhaps can really benefit us and can help us to be more optimal with how we approach different scenarios and decisions that we're making in the business. Well, I mean, obviously you need to collect some data, right? So if you're not collecting data, but I would say, probably 98% of companies are collecting data. I kind of view it as a process that we go through. So the next step was, okay, well, we've collected data, but it's a mess, or we don't know which data is important or which data is useful. So there's some preparation that needs to go. And a lot of times we see data engineers and people stepping in to kind of take that data in the raw format and actually convert it into something that's usable, and then can be then fed into reports and dashboards. And that for me is a important step. Now we want to make sure we have good quality data. We want to make sure that we have a data strategy so that we're aligning our business objectives with our data that we're collecting, and that those metrics are the ones that, we talk about KPIs or key performance indicators, the key metrics that we need to make important decisions and understand how the business is operating and how things are performing. And so yeah, getting the data, preparing it, then visualizing, getting into reports and dashboards so that more people have access to it than just the executives or the analyst team or the data science team. I mean, let's put it in the hands of everybody who needs it so that they can make smart decisions at their level and in their part of the business. And then, I like to talk about data storytelling, because sometimes, obviously as we have these reports and dashboards, we get curious, we start to ask questions, we analyze the data. And then when we find an insight, that's where the data storytelling comes in, because now we need to communicate that within the business and hopefully help other people to understand a problem or an opportunity or risk that's facing our business. And that's really where communication becomes really important. And that's what I specialize more on, the communication, the data storytelling aspect of how do we take insights and drive action and value with those insights.